Hi, Dr. J here. On the last video we talked about goals, specifically using the format of the 6 P's to goal setting that I've used for the last 14 years. Today, however, I want to teach you how to use your own personal emotion and even using your imagination at the same time to literally reinforce these goals and increase the likelihood that you're going to achieve goals. See, what happens is most time people just write a bunch of goals, and very rarely do they even write the goals down and keep them somewhere they're going to see them. So first and foremost, those 6 P's I outlined last video, you got to write them down, and you got to keep them around where you're going to be able to see them. See them on a daily basis. You know, whether keeping it in a journal, keeping it attached to your mirror in your bathroom, or keeping a copy in your car, you must keep them around so you can visually look at them each and every day to remind you where you want to go. But even if they're written down, what's really going to make you go through and take the actions that are necessary to achieve those goals? Writing them down is one thing, that's the first step. But you have to take action in the direction of those goals if you truly want to see them be accomplished. So what I'm going to show you now is I'm going to show you with a real-life example of one of my personal goals this year. And I'm going to walk through literally an action plan, the benefits, the consequences, obstacles, and even timelines. Those are the keys to making your goals actually become a reality. So one of the goals I had this last year, or for this year, 2016, was to be more internally calm at the home with my wife and my children. And again, openly I'll tell you that as we've added another child this last year, there's a lot of business in our home, we're going a mile a minute, and I have a tendency to be very emotional. I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and I also I get angry quick. And so I would come home and need just some space, and all of a sudden I'd have kids coming in different directions, and Whitney would need my help, and I would just snap, and I wouldn't be as present as I wanted to be, and I could feel that, and I could feel like tension and anxiety building up, and I didn't like that feeling. So I made a conscious choice that one of my personal goals is to be more internally calm at home with my wife and my children. And so what I do is I have an action plan. So what are the actions I need to take to make sure that goal becomes a reality? So whatever your goal is, you have to say, what are the 3, 4, 5, 6 action steps that you have to do to make sure that goal becomes a reality? You know, for me, I had to, literally start to listen to calmer music on the way home. You know, to do a visualization technique before I walked into the door, just to kind of separate the work J from the home J. And then I also made myself get up earlier so I could have that much more private time in the morning to give me the space so I could be prepared to deal with some of the chaos that occurs in the morning. Now, benefits. How does this benefit my family by me achieving this goal? How does it benefit me by achieving this goal? Same question you've got to ask yourself. How does achieving this goal, whatever your goal is, how does it benefit you, and how does it benefit others? Well, in this case, clearly, I'm a much better dad, a much better husband. The relationships I have with both my wife and my kids are going to be so much better if I'm not flying off the handle or getting upset at the smallest thing. It benefits me because my anxiety level comes way down and I'm way more calm. I got way more energy to give not only my kids, but that energy comes into the office with me and now I can give it to my patients as well. What are the consequences if I don't become more calm? Well, for me, it was clear. The consequences were the relationship with my kids and my wife starts to get, separated. It's not as close. And that's a non-negotiable for me. I want those relationships in my life to be paramount. What are the consequences for you? If you don't work on your weight, if you don't eat better, if you don't save more money for this year, what are those consequences? You have to start looking at the consequences of your actions today and what it's going to be doing to you in the future. If you don't, you're in for a big surprise. The next is obstacles. Not just the obstacles, but what are the potential solutions I would use as well. Knowing that I got a busy house and knowing that at times I'm tired and I'm crabby when I come home, what are the obstacles that I'm going to have in trying to be as calm as I possibly can? And once I isolated some of those obstacles, I also created more solutions around those obstacles, including the relaxation time, including the decompression drill that I do when before I walk in the house. So you have to isolate what are the obstacles to your goals, and then literally write down what are possible solutions that you can use to overcome those obstacles. And the last thing is this timeline. You've got to set yourself a deadline as to when you're going to achieve this goal. For me, it was very clear. As soon as I wrote this goal back in October, I was going to do it November 1. It was started, done. I mean, it was a very short window of time. Some of your goals might take longer time. That's okay, but you must put a deadline. Otherwise, there's no reason for you or there's no motivation for you to get out there and take action. So again, going through your goal, get an action plan, outline deeply the emotional benefits for you and for others by achieving this goal. But also get really clear with the consequences. What is it going to do to you or your family if you don't achieve these goals? Then isolate the obstacles that you're going to encounter this year or many years to come by trying to achieve this goal, and then figure out some solutions to achieve that goal or to get over those obstacles. And lastly, you've got to have a timeline to give you that motivation. So again, I hope this blessed some of you today. I hope that you can take the goal setting workshop that we did last week and this week and really get crystallization in what you'd like your life to look like, and then create the emotional connection that will allow you to go forth and take massive action. So until we speak again, have a blessed week.